Yes, y'all. What's up, though? Man, BG here. What's up? I'm here. I'm back. I took me a nice little break. Got some things done. Did some professional type style things. So I'm in a good place. I'm feeling good. Feeling nice. Feeling a little pop my collar type stuff. I ain't even got a collar on. I'm about to pop it anyway. Not small. But yeah. It's been good. It's been good. Things are good. And you know, before I jump into videos and all that, before I do any commentary or whatever, let me just clear some things up. First of all, thank you. Thank you for checking out the podcast. Thank you for being here with me. Without you, there wouldn't be a me. Without me, I wouldn't have a podcast. So thank you. I appreciate it. There's a lot of things you could be doing today, but you're doing this. So thank you. I appreciate that. The next thing is we're in revolutionary times. Completely revolutionary times. This is a beautiful time to be alive. I must say, I'm excited about it, excited for it, and I'm happy to be here with you. So before I go any further, I'll say my most previous podcast. I think it was before the sixth for sure. So my last episode I did, I mentioned pop culture changing, pop culture becoming something else, becoming something different than it used to be. Now, you know, a lot of the times I would make a comment like, "Oh, y'all gotta wake up. Oh, y'all ain't woke. You sleep." No, I don't think that means anything anymore. The other term that could be used is I just saw it earlier today. NPCs. So like for those who believe they're not they that for those who believe they're awakened and they're able to see and they have this grandiose I my brain thinks more than you, so you're stupid. People who have that thought process will say terms like NPC, non-player character. Now, a lot of us were NPCs too. Before anybody can be awakened, you got to be asleep. You can't just wake up awake. That's not how the fuck it works. You know what I'm saying? If you're asleep, you have to awaken from sleep. Some are ahead of others. Some may have done this a long time ago, where they did some, maybe spiritual growth, personal growth, things like that. I admire that. Appreciate it. Anyone who's done that, awesome. Good for you. Happy you did that, and you know what? You're better for it. What I find fun are those who are literally lost in their own sauce, proclaiming all these huge words, talking about how great they are, but I'm still hearing "woe is me" in the background. So it's a whole, the word NPC doesn't really fit. It's not a non-player character. It is a playable character, but what happens, and I'm just going to use a quick analogy. What I think is happening, we have shitty characters. Okay, it's not that they're non-playable. It's not that they're not thinking. No, they're thinking. They're just thinking really, really stupid. And a lot of stupidity can be easily gathered up into one of two things. Either you want it to be about you, so you're a victim, or you want the world to change immediately just for you because you are important. Hmm. Both seem stupid as fuck. Let's examine this. Now, a lot of times as you'll hear, even in the piece that you're about to see, I normally don't do this. The person we're about to see is about to say exactly the same shit. But anyway, I normally don't do this. I normally don't take these type of measures. My podcast style, it's evolving. It's kind of changing a little bit. But what I'm noticing here is those who are lost in their own sauce seem to never get out of it. And oh my God, this is one of those examples. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a listen to what happens when you believe it's all about you and you're a victim. Because we're going to start with the victim part first, and we'll do the second part in a minute. You don't have to believe me. You can take it from the horse's mouth.
And that's not what I got into this space for. I got into this space because I wanted to fix things. And I don't think the indie left YouTube space is capable of fixing anything. It's pretty petty and ridiculous now. And And if you look at the list,
Okay, so what's interesting is what he just said there. I actually agree with. So yes, to a certain extent, the YouTube algorithm is broken and does not give us data. Let's
and
have him
I
say it
don't
again.
think the indie left YouTube space is capable of fixing anything. It's pretty petty and ridiculous now. And and if you look at the list of people that are no longer working with the Jimmy Dore show, it's all like people that are still like true lefties, and everyone that's still around them just seem like click chasers, or I don't know what they're doing.
I'm gonna pause it right here. So here's really the big focus, right? You're gonna notice he's gonna say buzzwords. He loves buzzwords. Now, Graham Elwood is just a figure that I would like to expose for a little bit. Because to me, I'm like, you're not genuine, bro. Nothing you're saying right now is genuine. So far, the first thing you said was probably spot on. Probably. So we're gonna go back a little bit further. I'm gonna take a listen. Well, I'm gonna stop it a couple times because this is about to get wild. But let's just give it a little gander.
But it was really, and you know what the core of all this is? Jimmy reached out to the Cornel West campaign and said, "I'd love to work on your campaign." And when they said no, Jimmy got mad. This is what he's done. He makes everything and takes it personal, and that's not what I got into this space for. I got into this space because I wanted to fix things, and I don't think the indie left YouTube space is capable of fixing anything. It's pretty petty and ridiculous now, and and if you look at the list of people that are no longer working with the Jimmy Dore show, it's all like people that are still like true lefties, and everyone that's still around them just seem like click chasers, or I don't know what they're doing. Um,
Lefties, click chasers. Let's evaluate some things because he's saying a lot without saying a lot, but he's saying a lot. What he mentions here at the beginning of a Jimmy Dore show changing or becoming something different than what it is. I want you to just understand. This used to be a co-host for Jimmy Dore when he's talking about the Cornel West issue. There is a viral video right now. I'm just not covering it, and it is him sitting Cornel West down and telling him straight up, you are not doing any of this correct. Like, and it's not just to say politically you're not correct. No, 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 no. It's to say, dude, when you get in front of people, you say stuff, even though you're running for president, you get in front of people and say stuff that make it doesn't sound like you're running for president, and it really doesn't. It does not. I am a huge Cornel West fan. As soon as I heard Cornel West was running, I was like, yep, I'm on it. But I have nothing good to say. I have nothing good to show you. I have no examples of policy decisions that are going to work for people. I have no examples of, hey, well, Cornel West wants to do this in the future. I can't even say that shit. Everything he wants to do is literally a Democratic talking point. He is going to be a second Biden with a black face that calls everybody brother. I'm not down for that. I don't want Biden. I don't like what's gone on so far with anyone named Biden. And for the most part, the idea of a Democratic group taking over the highest job of the land and being incurred so many responsibilities, unfortunately, I don't think Cornel West is ready for that. He's proven it to himself, and I'll even show you how he proved it to the world recently with a terrible, terrible, terrible decision. We'll get back to that here in a second. Let's go ahead and go over this idiot because Graham wants to let us know something. He's having a lot of emotions right now. This is an example of being in your own way. It's an example of having every step more or less already concrete for you. You take these steps, and because you slipped on one of those steps, now you're mad at the steps. You're mad at the world, and oh, you better get rid of those steps. I've slipped on a step and I'm angry now. Are you angry at yourself, or are you angry at everybody else? Who you mad at? Who you really mad at? That's what I want to ask this guy. I want to sit him down and say, yo, who you really mad at? Are you mad at yourself that you were wrong? Are you mad that all of your takes were? I put it like this: for the years he worked with Jimmy Dore, he got maybe 10% correct. Everything else has changed. The nation has changed very quickly. The political scene has changed quickly. He's going to bring up a couple court cases here. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna get into all that. So let's go. Let's go.
That interview was unreal, and Jimmy was like minimizing. Jimmy's a rich white guy. He owns 2 houses. He's got over 1 million followers, which means he's making probably a high 7-figure income. If you have 1 million followers, you know, if you have a 6-figure following on YouTube, you probably have a 6-figure income. If you have a 7-figure,
I'm gonna pause it here. Just a quick YouTube AdSense notice: you do not receive $1 per view once you've reached 1 million. That's kind of not how it works. Now, super chats and if you have a website and you're getting your own income from your website, there's ways where you can have this income that makes the number he's talking about. For YouTube to exclusively hand you $1 million, usually not likely if you're averaging, a million and a half subscribers, but then your viewership is like 500,000. And a lot of the Jimmy Dore viewership is happening on Twitter. I don't think that Twitter ad dollar, along with the amount from YouTube, would equate to a million subscribers versus $1 million. That's it's kind of not how it works. I wouldn't say $1 million per video. Maybe he's making $1 million a year. That's very possible. But to make $1 million per every episode, I gotta call bullshit.
You're following, you probably have a 7-figure income. You have a 5-figure following, you probably have a 5-figure income. So, it was just so. I'm not surprised for 2 reasons. One of the reasons I stopped being a part of the Jimmy Dore show was in the summer of 2021, when he basically said it was okay that Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted. I was like, what?
Yes. I'm going to pause it here. Yes, it was okay that he was acquitted. He was protecting himself. There's video documentation of him protecting himself. He even went to the police during the Waukesha riot. Sorry, Waukesha? Yeah, Waukesha, Wisconsin. And he explains what's going on. And, he was very apologetic, very remorseful, but at the same time, very in control of the situation. The situation became out of control because the police did not do anything. If we want to get mad about anything with the Kyle Rittenhouse story, get mad at the cops that didn't do shit. Now, for him to shoot a convicted pedophile who just was released from prison, even though he shouldn't have been, I'm not mad about that. That person can rot in hell. Now, when it comes to the second to say that he shot but did not kill, I do want you to be aware. He was protecting himself in self-defense against someone that was going to beat him with a skateboard. Graham Elwood, if you don't mind, are you ready to take a hit to the head with a skateboard? Doesn't sound wise, right? No, if someone was attacking you with a skateboard and you had a way to protect yourself, Graham Elwood, I'm asking you, wouldn't you protect yourself, bruh? Isn't it more in your favor as a Democrat to explain to your listeners that yes, it is in your favor to make sure that no one tries to kill you hand to hand, or take your weapon to use it on you, or that grabs a weapon of their owning something they own and they're attempting to use said weapon on you. Wouldn't it make more sense to promote self-preservation along with promoting protection for all people, for yourself, for others? Other people could have hopped in and helped Kyle Rittenhouse at any time, but they did not. Why? It doesn't pay to do that. It doesn't help. It could have gotten worse. Most people probably were out there who did have guns, didn't want to be that dude who's getting his gun possibly taken or beaten because he has a gun. A lot of what we see, especially with the Kyle Rittenhouse one, we saw a breakdown of society, and he's mad at the fact that the kid didn't go to prison. He's a goddamn kid, number one, and number two, he was acting in self-defense. I don't. What's the fucking problem? What are we doing?
The Jimmy Dore show literally was a heavy anti-cop, critical of the police department, critical of their jackboot tactics. And then Jimmy was literally quoting Blue Lives Matter talking points. It was like, wow. And I know someone who was working on a show that had an argument with him about that. And Jimmy said, I've never been wrong, which is like his out of control ego. So this is all about his ego. Cornel West didn't want him on his campaign. So Jimmy's like, no, RFK kisses Jimmy's ass. So he likes RFK. And in that interview, he was a little hard on RFK about RFK's horrible stance on Israel, but RFK has a bunch of other horrible stances that Jimmy is soft on. Tulsi Gabbard kissed Jimmy's ass, and she's off. I mean, I did videos on, and I took a ton of shit when I brought on this guy that showed all these very distinct ties to Hindu nationalism.
Let's go. This is where I feel Graham Elwood stepped on a live wire, which really pushed me to make this video. I'm going to say a couple things. People are going to disagree with me, for sure. But I know people will not disagree with a couple things. And those things are simple. You bring up Tulsi Gabbard, you're a fucking idiot. Here's why. Jimmy Dore had Tulsi Gabbard on several times on his podcast to talk about her run for president in 2020. No, I'm sorry, 2016. Yeah. Holy shit, it's been that long. No, that's right. No, 2020. Yeah, it's 2020 election. There you go. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Tripping. Anyway, so this is three, almost 4 years ago. It was 2019. Yeah, the year before that election. So, military service member, Congresswoman for Hawaii, and you're concerned about Hindu nationalism, which is a very strange buzzword. It's one of those strange buzzwords that you're like, what the fuck does that mean? Well, I can explain what it means, but I have to use different terms. So when he says Hindu anything, I think what he might be pertaining to is the fact that she's not a professed Christian. She does hold Hindu values, and for Tulsi Gabbard, it's more important that you meditate, become spiritual in some way, whatever it may be. And what's really kind of cool and tricky for him, but what I think is cool, Hindus are pretty nonviolent. I do believe the Hindu faith has a whole entire section on being nonviolent. Pacifism, communication, the gathering of minds to get a better place to live. When we look at countries like India, everyone it automatically assumes the place is just poor and there's nothing there. It is probably one of the richest countries in the world. Now, what's interesting about that is that even if Tulsi Gabbard held any type of connection to India, I'm speaking to Graham Elwood here. Graham Elwood, Mr. Elwood, sir, you're completely okay with having Kamala Harris as a president based on your talking points so far. Based on the way that you're bashing Tulsi Gabbard, this tells me very quickly. If it's up to you, you would tell me if I asked you who to vote for. I have a feeling he would tell me to vote for Biden. And I'm not saying that in a good way at all. I'm saying that in the worst of ways. Why would this man profess to me a politician is bad who's not even in politics anymore? Tulsi Gabbard is no longer a congresswoman, and she's also not running for president right now. So to bring her up while talking about Jimmy Dore makes no fucking sense. Even with that being said, he's just made himself just as bad as Hillary Clinton. Why would you bash a military service member who's done nothing but give back to her community and to her culture? If you have a problem with someone from Hawaii, making sure that Hawaii is okay, there's something wrong with you. It's not her. There's something wrong with you. She signed up to give her life away in order to protect the sovereignty of our nation, but you're feeling some type of way because you had an interview with a guy that says, hey, she likes Hindu stuff. That's bad. What the fuck? You fucking serious? Wow. What happened to being a Democrat and being happy of all people, Graham Elwood? Oh, yeah, I forgot. You don't do that. Oh, Graham, what about being kind of heart and making sure that you're able to provide an amount of service to your neighbor and to your community, which I've heard you say before. Oh, I forgot. It doesn't apply here because Jimmy Dore bad. You're you're almost about to say Orange Man bad. So fucking stupid. God damn.
And there's this whole group of people that just whatever Jimmy says, Jimmy like Tulsi, me like Tulsi. Jimmy pro man, no mandate, me no mandate. Jimmy no vaccine, me no vaccine. They just
Now I'm gonna pause right here. This is another example of one of those things he's always wrong on that Jimmy Dore was right on. Yeah, mandating that someone take a medical procedure or experimental medication just because someone said so, that is the actual definition of malpractice. And in order to mandate that someone be locked away in their home for however long you're being told to by the government, that's kind of called fascism. What's really, really strange is those two things did not happen. Not everyone in the world was forced to take this thing no one knew about, and not everywhere in the world did they stay completely locked down or where people completely lost their lives. However, Graham Elwood believes that you should have lost your life. You should have taken the jab. You should have listened to everything that was said. The mandates were good. The masks are great. I want you to take a real nice listen to this one more time because this unhinged bullshit is just that. It is unhinged and it will not fly anymore. America is done with people like this. Graham Elwood, if you don't mind, give us another example one more time of that dumb shit you believe. Idiot. Dumbass.
on Israel, but RFK has a bunch of other horrible stances that Jimmy is soft on. Tulsi Gabbard kissed Jimmy's ass, and she's off. I mean, I did videos on, and I took a ton of shit when I brought on this guy that showed all these very distinct ties to Hindu nationalism. And there's this whole group of people that just whatever Jimmy says, Jimmy like Tulsi, me like Tulsi. Jimmy pro man, no mandate, me no mandate. Jimmy no vaccine, me no vaccine. They just follow whatever he says because he's got more clicks. And some of those people used to be on my show as regular guests, and they made a choice. And it's obvious. Graham's show is way smaller, is only 10% of the audience, less than 10% of the audience of Jimmy's show. So I'm going to go on Jimmy's show and agree with whatever Jimmy says. There's nobody or in Jimmy.
Graham Elwood, since you made it personal, I'll make it personal. Graham Elwood, hey, fun fact. Aaron Matei doesn't come back on your show because you're fucking crazy. You're unhinged. There's something wrong with you and you don't seem to understand that it's you. It's not everyone else. It's you, dude. It's you. You're a fucking idiot. Number two, Max Blumenthal maybe has appeared on your show. Maybe. And I'm using a really big question mark on that. Even if Max Blumenthal did do work with you, fun fact, you're going to disagree with everything he says. Even though he wrote the article, even though he is one of the editors for the Gray Zone, even though he had a lot to do with other articles before that, you still believe he's incorrect. And what is really astounding to me is your unknowing of how bad of a take you have, on how terrible of a take you consistently have, which is why people don't consistently come back to your channel. Now, Jimmy Dore has a good amount of consistent return guests, reoccurring guests, things like that. But I argue this. I argue this because he brought up Ron Placone a minute ago. I'm gonna bring it up too, or he's gonna bring it up here in a minute. Whatever. When he brings up Ron Placone left Jimmy Dore in a way that us, the viewers of Jimmy Dore, felt, oh, he believes what Graham's up to, so he ran with it. As soon as Jimmy Dore mentioned that he had a injury due to a medical treatment that he was forced to get by the government, you completely lost your shit, Graham. He told you over and over, hey, something's wrong with me. I don't feel good. I took the vaccines. I did everything they told me to do. I don't feel good. Something's wrong. Something's not okay. He had to go to several doctors, several specialists. The man almost died. And yeah, you sit here like you're grandiose and you were correct the whole time, as though You sit on some soapbox and you're more important than thou. That is not correct. You are lying to your viewer. That's why people are purging your site, dude. You're losing subscribers at a record amount. I remember when you were at 500,000. I do remember that. But guess what? You dropped 100,000 in 24 hours because, yeah, you sound wildly crazy, buddy. Uh, Even Lee Camp can't sit there with you because even you say shit. Lee Camp is like, yo, what the fuck? When you scare Lee Camp of Redacted of RT, yo, you dumb, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's not wrong with you, man. Like, it's not wrong with the words are not the problem. It's you. It is people like this. It is people like Graham Elwood. It's that think of victimhood. The think of, oh well he's doing things and he's being successful and I'm not. And no, I don't like that. What the fuck, man? Be a goddamn man, dude. You fucking serious? Go find something else. Go find another fucking hobby. Because apparently making YouTube videos is out of your fucking wheelhouse, dog. You can't do this. You can't. You can't stand up to this. It's so sad that you still believe every word in your little noggin is completely the word that everyone else needs to follow. How very democratic of you. We're gonna continue because this shit is so fucking stupid. God damn it.
Doors world
Dumb as fuck.
that disagrees with him. Nobody. And you can make all your theories all you want. You haven't worked closely with this guy. You haven't known him for 30 years, so you don't know what you're talking about. I do. People that have worked with him do. He has no one around them that disagrees with him. Nobody. I just saw Ron Pacone, very good friend of mine. I met him through Jimmy, and I'm grateful for that. Ron and I have disagreements and debates all the time. They're so healthy. I love talking to Ron Pacone because Ron doesn't try to just jam his, we never have those kind of, I'll say something and Ron will go, I don't know, Graham. And he'll bring up these points. And I see your point. And sometimes it's like, well, agree to disagree. We've had a couple of those and it's like so cool. And I have such respect for that. And I would never have people around me that just agree and kiss my ass. But this is what happens when you go through 12-step recovery is you have to make a searching and fearless moral inventory of yourselves. And when you're drinking and doing drugs every day, you're not capable of that. So this is what this is about.
Now, what's strange, how does he know the 12-step program and Jimmy Dore's not in a 12-step program? You know what's also interesting is in the 12-step program, it does mention getting rid of people who are bad for you, people who have, oh shit, I think I might be onto something. Graham Elwood's on drugs. Ooh, shit. Graham Elwood don't got money. Shit. So when you're working with someone that has more money than you and that's paying you, oh shit. This is all starting to make a lot of sense now. At first I didn't want to do it to him, but I think I have to do it to him. You're a recovering alcoholic and you're angry that someone didn't hand you stuff. You're mad that you weren't given the world. You feel, Mr. Elwood, you feel that everyone owes you something. You know what's really strange about what you just said about Jimmy Dore? Especially when you say something about him doing drugs. Y'all live in California. Fun fact: the nigga smokes weed. It is a known fact. Jimmy Dore smokes weed. Now, after the age of 21, fortunately for him, you are legal to buy booze. You can buy alcohol, you can buy liquor, you can buy whatever the fuck you want at 21. Last I checked, Jimmy Dore is well past the age of 21. Oh, yeah. Fun fact. He just smokes weed in a state where it's fucking legal. This piece of shit is assuming, or at least forcing you, the listener, to assume, oh, Jimmy Dore is the bad guy. But he seems to know exactly what occurs in a 12-step program. Why would that be? Maybe we should look at a couple things that make it kind of clear that there's a problem. The sunken cheeks. It's a sign of alcoholism. Also, maybe upper use. There's a couple other things that I've seen him do, and I'm like, yeah, you're definitely on Adderall, bro. You like pills, dude. You've had problems for years. When he spoke about how Obama did him so dirty, and Graham Elwood explains how he lost his home, he lost his business, he lost a whole bunch of career opportunities. The man's been done dirty by the Democratic Party. Isn't it so fun how he defends it? Oh shit, he gets so mad. He gets so mad. He was one of the biggest people talking about healthcare for all. Now you never got it. The Democrats have been in a position to make that happen for 3 years straight, have done nothing, and you're mad at Jimmy Dore. Oh, oh. I wonder if he's drunk now. This is great.
Let's get that
This is
clear.
great. Let's go. Let's
When Bernie
go.
didn't want to come on Jimmy's show, Jimmy turned on Bernie. And there's much to be critical, but you got to understand it's all about that ego. If Cornel West would have said, "Yeah, Jimmy, you can work on my campaign," Jimmy would be banging the drum for Cornel West. And
I'll pause it here. Because I do want to address the Cornel West comment. So he says if Cornel West had him on his campaign, Jimmy Dore would have been okay, okay, okay. Cute. It's cute. He says things like this. So what I'm gonna do is we are about to debunk that theory. Let's go. This dude's a fucking idiot. Oh my god, it's so bad. Like seriously, it's terrible. It is terrible. What he's attempting to do is failing, and that's why I'm mad. That's why I'm like, ugh. Why would he do that? Because, dude, nobody watches his channel. No one gives a fuck. And I'm serious. The real reason he's freaking out is because his numbers are terrible. And they've been dwindling. They've been really going down fast and in a hurry because he is so bitter. And when you're a bitter presenter, it makes it very difficult for people to take you seriously. That's not anyone's fault. You can't fault Jimmy Dore for that. You can't fault Cornel West for that. You can't really fault those who still work with Jimmy Dore for that. Even with that being said, you've made such a bifurcation of who you are willing to and not willing to work with. For the most part, it's not just that Jimmy Dore ain't gonna have you. The other co-hosts are not gonna have you on. I'm sorry, man. Greg Pasta doesn't give a fuck about what you think. Jimmy Dore doesn't give a fuck about what you think. What's his name? Kurt Metzger will fuck you up, and he knows it. He knows it. If Graham Elwood's supposed to be this comedian that he brings himself out to be in California, he does not do that on his networks, on his other mediums in which to reach you. He's failing at his job. It is so bad. So, with that being said, let's go to the interview that he's trying to. Oh, I got you. I got you there. I heard what you said. I heard what you said about that campaign. Okay, cool. You heard what he said, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's take a look. Let's go. Let's go. I think it's time we address it because you know what? I'm not fearful of this, but I do want to make sure that you're aware of what occurred because what occurred, it was bad. This is this is easily one of the biggest interviews Jimmy Dore's ever done. And what happens is every beautifully thrown softball question that he gives to Cornel West just fucking misses. Oh my god, it's bad. It's so bad. It is bad to the point. Look, this is all I can watch. I got 16 minutes in. That's how bad this shit is. It's fucking terrible, dude. And a lot of it, yeah, again, platitudes of Biden, platitudes of, hey, come on, brother, we got to make sure we're there for the Democrats, though. The fuck? You're running for a third party and you keep saying Biden shit. What? Why are you even bringing up Biden when you're supposed to be out there to beat him? Your goal was to run as a third party candidate and to beat Biden at the ballot box. Why did you not do that, Cornel West? What the fuck? Oh yeah, just in case you missed it, let's go.
Welcome back to the show, Dr. Cornel West.
Oh, thank you, my dear brother. When I think about you, I think of George Carlin. The Union Seminary is right across the street from George Carlin Place.
Really? No
What a
kidding.
grand genius. He grew up on 121st and Broadway next to Corpus Christi Church, and they got a beautiful sign saluting him. And beside Richard Pryor, he's got to be one of the greatest comic geniuses of the last 50 years, my brother.
Well, I certainly wish he was still alive right now because I know he would see through all the propaganda that we've been living through, at least since 2015. But I want to just before we start, I want to get this out there because some people misunderstood my coverage of your appearance with Anderson Cooper, and they took it as an attack on you when I was merely trying to help you get the message right about the Ukraine war. Because as a radical, part of your job is to educate people on what's actually happening, and you have to be crystal clear in explaining it to people, especially about what's happening in Ukraine. So people took that as me trying to attack you when I was doing it more as a coach, trying to help you and get it right. And that's what I'm going to be doing in this interview also, because I was thrilled to hear that you're running third party. You got more courage than I do to do it. You're a better man than me. And so I appreciate you doing it because you're getting the message out there about the Ukraine war, about the two-party duopoly. This is really important. And so if I just want to tell people, so if it seems like I'm being critical of Cornel West from here going forward to the election, what it is going to be is me trying to help make his message even better than it is, because I think it's really important that his message get out there. That's what this is about. So
Now, if that's a problem for Graham Elwood, we have a problem. If what Jimmy Dore just said has any basis in reality, Graham Elwood once again is wrong as fuck. And again, this isn't the first time Graham Elwood's been wrong about something. Trust me, it's not going to be the last time. I'm going to go to one last piece that he says because it just got me in my feelings. Feel me? But right here, because he does this little pause, lean in bullshit. Oh my god, okay. When he pauses and leans in, that to me is a sign of control. You're trying to alpha the conversation. You have a motive. You have all of the anger and hate for Jimmy Dore, and you're giving this. Well, what? I mean, come on. I mean, he does all these things. Well, dude, no, not
And
cute, man.
70s.
The fuck?
Dr. West was alive and was a young adult, a child and a young adult at a time when Black people could not ride on the bus. Now, this is the thing where two things can exist at once. Let's talk about January 6th for a second. Yeah, but the FBI, of course the FBI was involved. Did the FBI, I mean, we know for certain the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, those two guys were FBI informants, the heads of those organizations. So did the FBI help orchestrate that? I'm sure that they did. But they're also a bunch of heavily armed, racist, white nationalists who are dangerous in this country. And the fact that the Democratic Party says, oh my God, the white nationalists, is not a reason to minimize that. It's like if the Democratic Party is like, oh my God, there's a hurricane coming. Are you going to go, oh, the fucking stupid neoliberals? And I've traveled this country, and white nationalists who are heavily armed are dangerous and they're scary, just like Black and Latino gangs. Does that mean every Black and Latino person is in a gang? Of course not. Does that mean every white person that's even right-leaning is a Klan member with a gun? No, of course not. But that group is dangerous.
You can't say both at the same time, you fucking idiot. Oh my god, what the fuck are you? He's serious. He's so serious. He's so serious. He's so serious.
January 6th. And the people that minimized Kyle Rittenhouse are all like typically white people and white males. Politics, debating politics, there's this lack of two things can be true at the same time. And if you notice, the people that minimize January 6th, the people that minimize the white nationalists in January 6th, and the people that minimized Kyle Rittenhouse are all like typically white people and white males. Dr. West grew up in this country in the 60s.
He's not helping his point. Notice what he just said. Notice what he says after that.
And they're scary, just like Black and Latino gangs. Does that mean every Black and Latino person is in a gang? Of course not. Does that mean every white person that's even right-leaning is a Klan member with a gun? No, of course not.
I want you to notice the moment he completely fucks up his own comment. He made a big, grandiose statement. Those who agree with Kyle Rittenhouse being acquitted, those who agree with however you feel about a date in January, the way he says this next line completely fucks all that up. So he says out of one side of his mouth one thing and completely ruins it next. It doesn't mean that they're both true. It means he's lying. It means he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. What's even more intense, and I'll just make it real quick, Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted after shooting a pedophile and a person that was attempting to kill him with a skateboard. If you take a skateboard to the head, yes, you can die. It does not take a lot of head trauma to fuck you up. If someone's out there with a weapon attempting to hurt you and you have a concealed or even open carry weapon in order to protect yourself, to use that weapon to protect yourself is lawful. There's not a law that was broken in protecting your own life in a life or death situation. It was confirmed the night of by cops on the scene. It was confirmed several times in video and even more times with witnesses. What really gets me is the next line. This guy is completely unhinged.
But that group is dangerous. Armed groups of people with insane ideologies are dangerous. You notice the FBI, if they wanted to get a bunch of hippie yoga students, or yogis as they're called, vegan smoothing drinking yogis, to go get guns and attack the Capitol, they'd have a hard time doing that.
I would like to call bullshit. It's actually called the Socialist Party. There is a American socialist group that is currently infiltrating the education system. They have not only infiltrated it, but they've used a domestic terrorist group by the name of Antifa to provide security, strong arming, things like that. This group that he's talking about that can be amalgamated by a whole bunch of yogis and people who just drink smoothies and, oh, they don't want violence. Hey, let's go infiltrate that group. The weird, stupid fact is he's actually correct. He's actually telling you the truth here. He's saying it in the way of, oh, that would be, that's unfounded. That would never happen. But he's telling you the truth, which is so strange because I want you to see what he does next.
Because that group is really not aligned with guns and violence, and they're not going to do that. So you have these white nationalists that are heavily armed and they're dangerous, and the FBI infiltrated, and the Democratic Party is a bunch of lying idiots, and so are the Republicans. All of these.
You see, this shit, it stops making sense. It stops making sense. It stops making sense. He's attempting to do this. Well, both can be right at the same time, but no, they're wrong because of this. That doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. A lot of people out there are talking like Graham Elwood. Please be aware. Not everyone's like Graham Elwood. I'll be the one to make the comment correct. Let me correct all the bullshit you've heard so far. In the world, yes, NPCs exist. These will be non-playable characters, people who just don't do shit, have no clue what the fuck they're going to do, and ultimately don't have a future. They'll be quick to fads, social media groups, maybe even TikTok followings of large amounts, in order to hide what they truly believe. These people do exist. Now, what also exists at the same time is someone who's attempting to make you think something and it's not real. Not only is it not real, it could be at the detriment of your health and your wealth. He doesn't give a fuck. Graham Elwood seems to not care about that. What's very intense is that there are a lot of Graham Elwoods in the world. A lot of people who do not care about what you think, what you want, or your visions or your goals. Voting next year is going to be very serious. I mean, yeah, we're a year out. So voting next year, it's going to be very serious because it is going to be for your future. What I find so non-genuine with this again is that he's not making an argument to help him. He's making an argument to make you feel for him. He's a victim, remember? People like Graham Elwood, oh, the world owes them. The world was mean to them, so the world has to pay them back. This is very strange, but it's very Graham Elwood of them. He's definitely sticking to his name. Graham Elwood will have a lot of things to think about because Graham Elwood's fucking up. And unfortunately, again, he's going to be incorrect. What's going to be even more impressive is how it reaches everyone in social media way faster than my video right now. Even my video, I know I'm not going to hit 100 people. I don't care. I don't even care if I don't hit 100. I know that he's going to just fucking melt in his own bullshit. He's stuck in his own sauce so much. It's like, dude, you're going to become the sauce, which is not good for anyone when I say the sauce is bad. You don't want to be the sauce, be the meat. When meat's really good, you don't need no sauce. Holla, come on, come on. When the steak's right, you don't need no sauce on it because it speaks for itself. It stands in its own exquisite beauty, which all of us Americans can do and have been doing. Graham Elwood wants you to believe everyone who has a thought is incorrect. Oh, he was told by the government that you have to wear masks and mandate that you stay at home for a non-definite amount of time. There was no definition of time when things were going wild for him. Now he wants you to believe that. He wants you not only to believe that, he wants exactly what the Democratic Party wants. And because he's towing the line, he feels that he should be paid. He's very, very displeased that he's not being paid. What would be the first move? Of course, take down whoever's getting paid. This doesn't seem difficult to understand. This seems like a very unhinged man who's having a very hard time with his own psyche. And just to prove it, I'm just gonna show a quick visual. I'm not even gonna play it. Just this is the visual you'll get when you go to his podcast. This is the animation you'll see. This is the type of very sound mind you will see when you go to his page. I mean, this clown is done. He's literally fried himself. So at this point, I've unsubscribed. I hope you guys have no idea who Graham Elwood is. Do not subscribe to him, obviously, because he's crazy. But along with that is he's so bitter, so angry, and just bothered within himself about how he feels. And what's even more intense is he's always fucking wrong. So while he's being wrong and having all these emotions, he's still not moving forward or progressing in life. Graham Elwood is an example, just one of many people who you cannot pay attention to anymore. You can't. It's okay. Maybe you want to watch it for laughs. I've seen a ton of Reddit groups that will easily watch this just for laughs and bullshit, and they'll copy what he says and do exactly what I'm doing now. But with that being said, is no one believes what he's saying. He does not believe what he's saying. But remember, the Jimmy Dore hate is real. Even the Orange Man bad hate is real. Just like, oh, we can never let anyone else run against Biden because Biden must become president again type of hate. Oh, Hunter never did anything wrong. No. Hunter should be free. Biden should be president again. And Trump needs to go to prison forever because he's a criminal. A criminal at what? This is what's fun. People have no answers, dude. And even then, I'm reading what it said. No, don't. Without reading the fucking indictment that we know is bullshit, because Graham Elwood told you over and over and over, the system's already skewed. The Democratic Party is 100% corrupt, and so is the Republican Party, whether they're corrupt or just dumb. He's telling you the truth there, but then he skews it with all this other fuckery because he has hatred in his heart. It's bad. It's not good for business. What's even worse than that He believes everything he's saying is true. Be careful who you believe in. Be careful who you watch. Be careful what type of information that you allow into your body, and just be aware all I'm doing is calling out the bullshit, letting you know that it's bullshit. I don't have a message. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not telling you what to do. You can do that yourself. You're an adult. But right now, the adult thing to do, avoid the Graham Elwoods of the world. Avoid that. Start there. So that's a good start. You get rid of people like that in your life, I think you'll be much better off. And trust me, you'll sleep better. Sleep's important. Appreciate y'all. Love you. I love you. Just in case you ain't never heard it today, I love you. You're amazing. You're smart. You're ambitious. And you found this right here and stuck around to the end. So that means you are one of them good ones. Spread it. Share it. Like this, comment, subscribe, support if you can. But for the most part, first off, be safe and stay free. Appreciate y'all. Till the next one. I'll be back. And this is BG here with a new Wrinkle on the Brain.